Previously on the HITZ Announcer Search.
We're not just letting go of one finalist tonight. We are letting go of two finalists from the HITZ Announcer Search. The first one to be leaving us tonight is Suki. Our next person from the HITZ Announcer Search, our next finalist who will be leaving the competition is Tasneem.
Here we are again. It's the HITZ Announcer Search, brought to you by Tune Talk. Hashtag go beyond. Hashtag HITZ Announcer Search. And here we are with our four finalists. Well done, you guys, for making it this far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. And we've got another guest. I'll get to her a little bit later on, the stripy lady. Just want to recap what happened last night. Unfortunately, two had to get eliminated. Tasneem and Suki left the show. You guys can smile if you want. That means that you guys made it through. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see them leave. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., that's when the finals is happening. That's when we decide who our new colleague is going to be. And before we get to that excitement, today's challenge. Okay, so far you guys have done a lot of on-air stuff. You've done stuff for TikTok, a lot of presentation things where you have to be creative. Today's challenge, very different from that. Okay, now that we're getting closer to someone getting a job at HITZ, we need to know a little bit more about you. And we need to know why you're here and what you want out of this. But I'm going to leave that to Priya, who happens to be our boss. She's going to get to know you guys a little bit better in depth. So be as honest as you possibly can, because this may count towards the challenge. All right? So I'll hand it over to Priya.
Okay, thanks, Ian. Ian's right. I think in a lot of ways, when we saw your videos and we picked your top 10 videos, right, we already knew you guys had something to offer and you could definitely work on HITZ. You know, it's not really so much about tone and all that, because that one we can trade. But I think down the line, it's about how you would go beyond for the station itself, you know, and how you can actually contribute to us and be part of the family. So before there's an actual challenge. There's something that you all still need to do, which Ian will get to in a bit. But look, I just wanted to just hear from you guys, because I'm quite curious. When you guys did the duet video, right, did you do it for fun, or did you actually want to be a radio announcer? That's my first question. We can start with Ryan.
All honesty, half. I've always had like, okay, you know what? If I would make it as a radio announcer, it would be great. You know, like I think I've what it takes in a sense. But at the same time, I knew that this was going to be a nationwide thing. You know, like, so what are the odds? You know, yeah. So that was my approach towards it. Yeah.
Jana?
Mine was is a bit similar to Ryan. Well, I've had a dream of being a radio announcer when I was younger. So when this contest came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm living my childhood dream now. But at the same time, I was trying to think of it realistically, because a contest, there's so many people that are going to join, and the chances of me getting into it, to me, was like a so-so. So I just went in, thought about it, and just did it for fun. And if something happened out of it, and I would be excited. And here I am.
Okay. Ian, are you happy with the answer?
Yeah, it sounds good. Was I smiling too much?
The competition was really interesting because I like the concept and I like how we all had to do it from home. And the fact that I saw my friends share it with me, I was like, oh, you should try it out. It looks like an interesting thing to join. And I found out that the winner was going to be a radio announcer at the station. I was like, that's a pretty cool prize. And sorry, let me just put into words first. I'm really sorry about this.
No, I'm not a very serious person, guys. Like, I'm really scared
it's like The Apprentice, you know, how they did it, The Apprentice Asia. The way they eliminated Oh My God, it was so serious. So I was expecting more of that in this competition. But as we went along, I was like, wow, it's a lot more interesting, and it's a lot more lighthearted, this one. You know, it's not as serious and stuff. And I'm just a 19-year-old kid that's about to start university soon. And I was like, you know, why not give it a shot? It's gonna be fun to actually give it a shot.
Okay. Sango?
For me, I think it's pretty similar towards Ryan and Jana. When I first found out about the HITZ Announcer Search, it was due to my friend. He sent me the link and he was just like, Sango, you should give it a try, you know, you never know. So at the back of my head, I thought, you know what, let me just give it a shot and see where it goes. Even though at the back of my head, I always thought, you know what, it would be amazing if I, you know, became a radio announcer. But when I got that text from Carlene, it was actually on my mom's birthday. So I was like, what? Out of all of the submissions and this happened? So it's still so surreal. So yeah, the odds of being here today is incredible. So
Now you guys are in the top 4. Not only did
Yeah,
you get
man.
into the contest, but you made it to this stage. So yeah.
I think that really, when we did this, when we wanted to do this whole segment also, we really wanted to find people that were really natural, to be as real as possible. Because I think a lot of people think radio is a very superficial sort of thing. Like you've seen the mentors, right? Which are the announcers, like people like Ian. I grew up listening to this. So for me, in my head, it's like no, it's true, right? So like for me personally, like I grew up listening to Ian, and then when I came here, I was feeling the same thing. I felt so intimidated, like, oh no, I'm going to be working with these guys and I'm going to actually be their boss. So like, how do I actually do this, right? And then along the line, what I realized down the line was that they are as natural and real as possible, right? And at the end of the day, it is a job. And our job is to entertain. You know, we could be having a bad day, but we gotta keep it real. You know, I think last time we always put on this where we're always so happy all the time. You know, you won't actually know how someone is feeling. But with the pandemic and the past year and a half that we've gone through, the main thing that we're trying to do is really just be as real and natural as possible. And I think that's some of the feedback that you've been getting, I think the past 2 weeks, has been show us who you are, be as real as possible. I just got one more question though. In your head, like in your mind, right? What's your expectation or what's your idea of a radio announcer?
I didn't realize that announcers had to do all this stuff, from creating your own. Because at first I thought that radio announcers were just people that just read out the lines and they have a good personality. But then when you have to create content and know how to portray yourself online and stuff, it's just a huge area that I've never known from a radio announcer. And I think that my expectations would be I would love to breathe new air into HITZ. And as a radio announcer, I'm 19 and I think I can relate to these people, and I hope that I can provide content that is fresh and new and get more people listening to HITZ. And I want people to just tune in, because I remember when I was a kid, I was listening to JJ and Ian on my way to school, and it was sick, it was fun and entertaining. So I just hope to give that same experience to people younger than me.
Jana?
I actually don't really know what to expect, but since all these challenges have been happening, I know that it's not just about being on the radio. Like, you need to have that presence online as well, and you not only need to relate to people on air, but like on Instagrams and all social media, you just need to show who you are. And I don't know, you need to try to be the best version that you can be for a job, but at the same time you need to be relatable and come across as this natural and lively person. So I think that's my expectation.
Yeah, you're right. I think at the end of the day, I think when Ian first started radio, it was always just radio, right? It's one thing. You had one platform to focus on. I like how Ian's very quiet. Like, he's just gonna say something later. But,
I'm waiting for you to finish.
But I think now there's so many platforms out there, and then like some people always say, oh, you have a face for radio. That means if you're not pretty, you go on radio. That's not true. And really it's about being as relatable as possible and seeing how you can actually connect with someone. Because like I said, right, like when you look at that mic in the studio, you're just looking at a mic. You don't realize the power behind that mic controls 2.4 million listeners listening to you from that one mic. So and then on top of that, you've got all the social media platforms with a lot of following. You add all of that together, that influence that you have and that image, that's who you're going to be portraying.
Correct.
Cool.
I agree with you. It transcends life too. I mean, it's not just inside the studio, like you said, Jana, it's outside, you know what I mean? And that's why what Priya said is so important. Like this new era of radio, you just have to be, I said this in the beginning, an exaggerated version of yourself. You know what I mean? And if you sway too far away from your personality while you're on air, it's not going to last.
Yeah.
So yeah, Priya, you want to ask the other two before I get into the challenge?
Ryan?
Okay, all right. What I thought about the whole idea of being a radio announcer is actually very, very different from what I had in mind. Because, like, honestly, like for the TikTok challenge and all the more like video-based content challenges, I'm just like, I signed up for this like kind of thing. I thought it was going to be more of like, more on radio, more on line announcing and stuff like that. But when those came about, I realized, HITZ is looking for someone that's all-rounded. You have to, but at the same time, like content creation, that was really, really fun. So like yesterday's challenge was really fun. Apa Tu promo for me was really fun. I had a blast. Yeah, so it's these kind of things that make me like, sometimes it's just a little bit of a love-hate kind of thing. So what my expectation of it now has definitely grown so much more compared to how it was initially. And yeah, I think you guys, like the announcers, I don't know how y'all do it, but it seems like it's a lot, but I think you just got to grow. It's something that you just got to grow into.
You see the eye bags here, Ryan? That's how we do it. Always looking tired. Okay, Sango, what about you? What are your expectations?
To be quite honest, when I first, the first day of this competition, I honestly did not know what to expect. Initially, I thought, being a radio announcer is just, saying things through the mic and that's it. Your script is given to you. But I feel like 11 days later, sitting here today, I've learned a whole lot through the entire week. It's not just announcing things. It also takes a lot of energy for you to channel your energy to the mic. The person listening, it takes a lot as well. And then content creation, like Ryan just said, an all-rounder. And it's something that for me personally, because I grew up listening to Ian and that was the first generation, and I think to be the next voice for the next generation is going to tune into HITZ would be pretty amazing. That would be.
I'm feeling pretty old right now. No more Ian references. Thank you very much, everyone.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, I just joined HITZ in 2016. But great. Okay, wonderful, you guys. Because today's challenge has got something to do with what y'all just spoke about with Priya. Okay, I'm going to be very clear on this. Okay, we need you to do a 1-minute video, and the video needs you guys to tell us why you want to be a HITZ announcer. Simple, you may think, but this is very, very key. Like, this could set you apart from the others. Like what you say in this, and it has to be honest. And
yes, and I don't want you to speak to your mentors about this, because I actually do want this from your heart. Like, I want to know what you really think, your real thoughts. Because the announcers can't give you an idea or an answer. Yeah. It really does need to come from you. So don't speak to your mentors.
This should be the easiest video or the hardest video. Just be as real as you can, guys. Why you wanted it, and because we need to know where y'all are coming from, if in case you do get the job. Yeah, so scary, because Priya's gonna be watching this thinking, that person said the wrong thing. Elimination happens now. But so just be as honest as you can, and I'll be clear with it one more time, okay? You need to do a video telling us why you want to be a HITZ announcer, 1 minute, and all the best with this one. And tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Friday night is gonna be FB Live. We're gonna find out who the winner is, who our next announcer is, and like I said earlier on, HITZ Announcer Search brought to you by Toon Talk. #GoBeyond, #HITZ Announcer Search. All the best, you guys. Stay true to your heart.
Thank you.
Priya, any parting words, Priya?
No, I'm looking forward to the videos.
Guys, all the best.